It's Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Coming up on the program today, dumb murderers should not represent themselves in court. Plus, coming down with a bad case of pussy when a Kesha concert conflicts with your jail time, and the case of the pickle-obsessed child-biting middle school teacher. All this was your voicemails today.
Mommy, I want to ask you something.
What is it, dear?
What I wonder is, how did the baby get started in there?
Let me tell you how it is. There's a special opening just in front of the place where you have your BM. It's very, very tiny in a little girl, but as you grow, it grows too, right along with the rest of you. Until when you're grown up, it gets to be just about this size. The special opening that little girls have has a name, the penis. Now, you know that little boys like our Johnny have a vagina. When a boy grows up and is ready to be a father, he is able to put his vagina into the penis, that special opening that mothers have. Do you understand?
Yes, I think so, but if I forget it, you can always tell me again.
It's the Distorted View Show with Tim Henson.
Jam that baby maker deep inside my man cunt.
At least I'm not gonna die because I'm a careless fairy.
Crystal meth loosens up your butthole.
A lot of hot liquid poo just went out all at once.
I'm retarded.
Yes, Tim Henson back here with you for the Wednesday podcast, and you caught me in a good mood for once. I know it's a rare condition in this day and age. Part of the problem is you never read any good news on the newspaper page. Well, there must be some magic clue inside these tearful walls, 'cause all I see is a tower of dreams, real love bursting out of every seam. As days go by, we're gonna fill our house with happiness. The moon may cry. We're gonna fill our house with happiness. The Tasmanian Devil is singing karaoke. Sorry, the lyrics got away from me. Well, I'm sure you're all wondering what has put Tim in such a giddy mood. Would it shock you if I told you it was soda related? I don't know, man. We are on a good streak. I guess because society is riding this wave of nostalgia, things that I thought couldn't ever happen again, couldn't be possible, have somehow become a reality. You know what? I'm giving Oprah all the credit. She told me about this book called The Secret back in 2006. That's where if you want something bad enough, you wish it, you put it out there in the world, and then it materializes. What did I put out in the world? World peace? No. No more human suffering? No. I wish for Crystal Pepsi to come back. And sure enough, God damn it, Crystal Pepsi came back in like 2016. One of the biggest flops in soda history somehow had a second act. What's an even bigger flop? New Coke from the 80s, something I didn't get to try when I was a kid. Boom. A few years ago, there's a Stranger Things tie-in where they re-released New Coke. Add to the list Surge, that 90s failed soda, that came back for a while. I mean, it's been quite exciting if you're overweight and addicted to sugar like myself.
Diabetes, 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 diabetes.
Not yet, Wilford. That's something else I get to look forward to. So what drink has got me all excited today? It's not actually a soda. Back in the early 2000s, Snapple, you know, the tea people. For a while, they actually had quite a line of drinks. Not just teas, but fruit juices and stuff. There were so many varieties. Now they're down to like 5. It's really a sad brand. Anyway, in the early 2000s, they came out with a line of drinks called Elements. Elements came in names like Earth, Air, Sun, Fire, Moon. Even though these drinks contain juice, it wasn't like a juice drink. It was lighter than that, but it wasn't diet. Don't get the wrong idea. I ain't drinking no fruity light diet shit. You know, like for instance, Fire had a pear juice. dragon fruit, raspberry, and then they had like extracts like ginseng and whatever that is in that Red Bull, that guarana stuff. I think Snapple for a while was trying to market Elements as an energy drink. Like all good things, it was taken from me way too soon. And if you follow me on Twitter closely, you will know that every 4 to 5 months, I tweet at Snapple begging for them to bring Snapple Elements back. Sometimes I'm aggressive and I call them pussies for not doing it. Other times I plead with them. May 13th, 2020, I wrote, hey Snapple, product development team stuck at home during the quarantine. Just dip into the vault and re-release Elements. It's what we need in these uncertain times. A few months later, here's your quarterly reminder. You should really bring back Elements. The time is now. We're all suffering. In June of this past year, I said, look, Snapple. Pepsi brought back Pepsi Blue. Oh, yeah, Pepsi Blue came back as well. And Crystal Pepsi. The impossible is possible. I am demanding you bring Elements. Do it for the gays. Oh, yeah, because it was Gay Pride Month. Then I hashtag Pride. I tried that angle. The gays want Elements. And then in October, just a few months ago, I said, yo, Snapple, how about some Elements up in here? It's been too long. And guess what? Elements has returned. Now, I don't want to say it's because of me, but guys, look at the facts. Who else has been bitching and complaining to Snapple about Elements? Really? No one. No one has that kind of time on their hands. No one is that weirdly obsessed with this shit. It's me. You would think that Snapple would tweet at me and be like, hey, Tim, wish granted. You know how I found out? I found out on eBay because, I collect cans. And I was like, you know what I don't have? I don't have Snapple Element cans or bottles. I should really add that to my collection, seeing as how I'm so fucking weirdly obsessed with this crap. So I did a search and I was like, these are some weird bottles. I've never seen this packaging before. And sure enough, these were new, fresh, with a 2022 expiration date. I about shut myself. There's an Element for you. Add that to the lineup. Snapple Elements Meteor, Fire, Moon, and Bowel Movement. Doubt that would be a big seller. So here's the deal. They're launching this product as we speak. If you go to Snapple.com, the splash screen is all about Elements. They are launching with 3 flavors. That may come as a disappointment to some if your favorite is not one of the 3, but I think they're going to be launching some more versions later on. They're starting with 3. Air, my personal favorite, Rain, and Fire. If you're wondering, Air is a prickly pear and peach white tea flavor. Fire is dragon fruit. And Rain, again, I'm so excited about this. Rain is agave cactus flavored juice drink. I don't know why I liked it so much. It doesn't sound like something that would interest me, but it really was just great. And I've already ordered some. As a matter of fact, it arrived today. I got a little sample pack of all 3, and I will be trying them after they chill. Now, it's not exactly the same formula as before, which concerns me. Snapple's not trying to make this an energy drink, so there's no, caffeine or taurine or whatever, the guarana or whatever. I saw on the package that it only had 110 calories, which doesn't seem like a lot for a 16-ounce bottle. I was afraid it was going to be sweetened with some diet fucking shit, or that stevia, or any of those weird sweeteners that they call natural, but they just taste diet. But I looked at the bottle, looked at the ingredients, didn't see anything weird. There was no red flag, so I am cautiously optimistic. If you were a fan of Snapple Elements in the early 2000s, like me, you have reason to celebrate. It's back, baby. And now that I got that off my chest, we can get into the program. Thank you for putting up with me as I talk about juice drinks for 10 minutes. Did I sing the theme song to Family Matters earlier? I was in quite a state. All right, I've got some great clips here today. First up, do you guys recognize the name Ronnie O'Neal? He's a murderer. Apparently, he killed his whole family back in 2018. Well, a few months ago, his trial finally started, and guess what, guys? He decided to represent himself, which is always a smart move. The verdict came down relatively quickly. This was a short case, I think in part because he represented himself. He was found guilty of the brutal murders of his 9-year-old daughter and the mother of his 2 children. His son barely survived the attack. As the jury foreman read off the verdict, O'Neill sat quietly and did not appear to react. He must have learned his lesson because during opening statements, he was anything but quiet.
The evidence is going to show that we are under some of the most vicious, lying, fabricating, fictitious government you ever seen.
Someone probably coached him and said, you know, the louder you speak, the more believable you seem. So if you really want to come off as innocent, you're just going to scream your opening statements. This, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is bullshit! Sounds like something an innocent man might say.
By the time it's all said and done, you will see who is the mass murderers in Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention, this comes from our most fucked up state.
Florida is the most fucked up state.
His opening statements went on for a half an hour. I'm going to fast forward to about 16 minutes here.
It might sound far-fetched, but I guarantee you, we're going to see who the liars are before it's all said and done. Mark my words, because my family lives were taken.
Yep, very adamant that he did not kill his family. Later on in the trial, actually towards the end, during the closing statements, he was just as animated.
Because he's playing a fraudulent damn recording of me beating Kenyatta Barron 15 damn times when that did not happen.
Yeah, there was video evidence of some of the beatings. This guy is saying that those were fraudulent, forged. Like a Hollywood production, I guess. You know how the cops tend to work with industrial light and magic.
And like I told you earlier, you will know the truth, whether in this trial or the next one. Better believe it. 'Cause if you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not.
All right, Mr. O'Neill, please stop using swearing language. It's not appropriate in a closing argument.
Yes, murder trials should be G-rated. Come on, we have families watching. We've got this simulcast on Nickelodeon. Anyway, this guy was so hell-bent on proving that the cops used manipulated audio and video that he kind of slips up. He actually admits to murdering his family, but not in the way that the police are saying that he did it. He did it in a different way. So, you know, they don't know what they're talking about.
You heard Mr. Khalil Brown. You've been hearing me for 2 weeks now, telling you that they committed criminal acts against me with the 911 calls and that fraudulent video that they just showed y'all. Now, I'm gonna prove it to you.
I don't know why he waited for the closing statements to prove his case, but okay, I guess this is supposed to be a big dramatic moment here.
You heard Khalil Brown. He said that he was actually sure that I only hit Kenyatta Barron 3 times. You heard. I called him to tell you that. I ain't running from nothing. I did kill Kenyatta Barron.
Bold strategy here.
But I want you to tell it like it is if you're going to tell it.
Get your facts straight on how I murdered them. Well, did defending himself pay off for Ronnie? I'll let you be the judge. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life sentences, plus, on top of it, 90 years. I think he would have got less time if a fucking, barnyard goat would have been his lawyer. Think about it, if the closing statements went like this. Uh-huh. Thought-provoking. You may say, Tim, no one's going to understand a word this goat is saying. humans don't speak goat, but at least they're not confessing to the murder. Still think it's better than what Ronnie did. Now, that goat kind of does sound like Ronnie defending himself. All right, let's move on. E-Fucked is back with a new compilation called Camtastrophes. That's right, a smooth transition from murder to pussy fingering. Yeah, all the videos in the compilation feature, mishaps or weird things happening while women are masturbating or having sex or whatever. The first one is just a very powerful orgasm, I guess. The woman pleasures herself with a vibrator. Her tongue is sticking out of her head. She has clit stimulated herself retarded.
Anybody get anything done with things like this around?
She just goes on, speaking gibberish for a while. Next up, a woman giving a blowjob. Waggle, quaggle.
Ooh, fuck, baby. Okay, let's go to knees. All right, stay right there.
Slurping it up good. Oh, never mind. Not slurping it up so good. Not a fan of throwing up, I see. And finally, the last one I'm going to feature. Now, this compilation goes on for 6 or 7 minutes, so I urge you all to check out the whole thing at efuck.com. The last one I want to play for you is some accidental anal. Guy's fucking a woman from behind. Dick comes out. He tries to stick it back in the correct hole, but whoopsie daisy. There it is. Now, this guy does seem to be apologetic, but he does mention that, hey, lady, you were playing with my asshole, so I don't want to hear it. Apparently, she was trying to finger him.
What, asshole?
Yeah.
Oh,
asshole.
I didn't even know. My cock doesn't have eyes?
While that's true, and technically a good defense, I don't think the girl wants to hear it right now. You got to be in control of your dick. You're driving that thing. Remember the other day on the podcast, we were playing a porn clip of a woman who had windshield wipers on to clean off the cum? Maybe guys should have some car-like attachments to their dick in the form of mirrors so they can actually see where their dick is going. Side mirrors, rear view mirror, that type of thing.
I didn't even know. My cock doesn't have eyes? You were trying to put your finger in my ass, so I shuffled right the fuck up there. I was like, I'm into this right now.
So now it's almost like it wasn't an accident. At first he was apologetic, but then he was like, yeah, you were trying to finger my asshole, so I shuffled right up in yours. Tit for tat. Again, you can see the whole thing over there at efuck.com. It is the most recent video over there. Switching gears now, something I'm very good at. Murder to porn to a little bit of music. One of you freaks in the Discord found this and really combines two of my favorite musical things, the I Have a Bad Case of Diarrhea song and filthy dirty rapper Cupcake. Mash them together and you've got quite the song.
I have a bad case of my vagina. I have a bad case of my vagina. I have a bad case of my vagina. I have a bad case of my vagina.
This TikTok user, Queenie, does a lot of great Cupcake remixes, including the final countdown. I guess it's not the final countdown, it's the final pussy. He even cupcake-ified the McDonald's jingle.
Suck that dick.
And the standard iPhone ringtone.
My ass like a drum, that dick till it come. My ass like a drum, that dick till it come. My ass like a drum, that dick till it come.
You want to check out this entire collection. There's like hundreds of these things. It's _ Queenie, KWEEENIE _. I mean, they make these usernames so hard to follow. 3 E's, couple underscores. You'll never follow this person. All right, let's move on. Gas prices are absolutely cuckoo crazy bananas right now, and I guess they're going to continue skyrocketing in the next few days. Thankfully, Shaq has a life hack for us. Recently on Inside the NBA on TNT, Shaquille tried to explain to one of his co-hosts the trick on how to save some money at the gas pump. Try to wrap your mind around this one.
Yeah, because I told him I didn't want to get a certain vehicle because of the amount of gas I would have to spend. It costs like $80
to fill it up.
And he said, then you said,
when it gets to half, then you put $20, you bring it back to full.
Yeah. But if I keep doing, I would have to stop more often and still spend 80.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
Why?
You're complaining about when it gets to zero, you spend 80, right?
Yeah. With Shaq's method, you only spend $20. Boom.
When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20.
Yeah, but I'll keep stopping.
You just keep going to the gas station and you put 20 in.
Put 20 in and it'll be 80, the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas.
The average human stops once a week for gas, right?
My theory is that Shaq knows better. I mean, he knows whether you spend $20 multiple times or $80 at once, it's going to be for the same amount of miles. I think maybe they just had some time to kill on this TNT broadcast, and they're like, hey, can you waste 5 minutes?
You're telling me that I wouldn't have to, if I didn't let my gas get down, I wouldn't have to fill it up as much?
No, I'm saying you're complaining about the $80. That's what the conversation about.
But 4 times 20 is 80 because I'm going to stop 4 times.
No, you're not going to stop 4 times. No, you're not going to stop 4 times. Not in 1 week, you're not.
Guys, we're not even halfway through this clip. I don't know how much more they could say about this.
Anyway, the West Coast is closer than the moon.
If you let it get to zero, right, Monday through Friday, right, then you got to pay 80 to fill it back up.
Right.
Okay, but if you let it get to half by Wednesday, then you pay 20.
No, it won't get to half by, by Wednesday it's going to be 40, and then on Friday it'll be 40
Not 40, 20.
Yeah.
It's going to be 20.
No.
It's going to be 20.
You know, like when actors get on Twitter and people are like, hey, we don't want to hear your political opinions. Just act in your stupid TV shows. I kind of feel like it's the same thing with these people. It's like, hey, just talk about basketball. Don't try to do math.
Not half. Half of 80 is 40.
But no, listen to what I'm saying.
I am.
Okay.
So if I did,
no, you ain't have to put gas in every day. Don't play me right now.
Somehow we're still not done.
You're complaining about the $80.
Yes.
Right. So
I'm
at zero,
complaining.
okay. So at zero is 80.
No question.
So right at full is 80, right?
Yes.
So if it gets to half, that'll be 40, right?
No question about it.
So if you put 20 in, then you bring it back up to 3/4. Right?
No, if I put 20 in, it'll get to 1/4.
Jeez, yeah. But it'll be 3/4. It'll be 3/4 full.
This happened 3 days ago. I just turned TNT back on. There's still a camera on Shaq doing the math. They never ended the broadcast. This is just what TNT is now. Shaq doing math word problems poorly. Finally, before we get into the news, I've got one more short clip. This is from that MTV series Teen Mom. This was actually from a few years ago. I didn't watch the show back then. I just found this clip recently of Janelle Evans, one of the many teen moms. She was actually a part of Teen Mom 2. This bitch has been arrested 15 times. Cyber stalking, possession of heroin, possession of paraphernalia, assault on her husband. I've got a clip here from Teen Mom that's sort of about one of her arrests. Apparently, she told her attorney that she would rather deal with a jail sentence than complete her probation. It's just easier to go to jail and get it over with. I think these were drug-related charges, and she takes these drug tests, and it continues to reveal, she's still using. Janelle was then offered a 16-day sentence, but she was potentially facing 45 days. So this was a bit of a bargain. Right? You take this deal, you'll only have to do 15 days or 16 days in prison instead of doing a month and a half. Seems like a great deal, right? Well, there's an issue. Apparently, Janelle has a very busy calendar and she can't be bothered to go to jail.
They are asking for is the 8th through the 23rd. It'd be a total of 16 days in jail.
Well, see, the only thing is, on the 9th, I got second row seats to go see a concert. It's Kesha tickets.
Oh, well, we'll just tell the judge then that it's a Kesha concert. I'm sure he'll understand.
The problem is that that's not going to fly with your probation officer.
No, you don't understand. This is my idol. She's like my idol, and I'm never going to be able to see her.
When is the concert?
August 9th. Like, can't you call her and tell, isn't there some way
I'm not mentioning the concert.
I really can't miss that concert. I really can't. That's why I got all these feathers in my hair.
Come on, you're supposed to be a good attorney. Call her probation officer and tell her about the feathers in the hair.
Because of the concert. I bought clothes for the concert.
Oh, wow.
I set up hotel rooms for the concert.
All right.
You'll have to give your probation officer your final decision, so just think about it before you tell him.
I mean, I understand that the concert's important to you, but
I don't think he really understands that.
You can have all of this behind you in just a couple of weeks. Be done with it.
Like no one understands how important this concert is to me. It's not just a concert. It's Kesha.
Kesha. It's Kesha.
Just think about it.
Like it's the person. It's not. Oh, I want to go to a random.
Wait, she's not like meeting Kesha or anything. It's not like she's going backstage and hanging with Kesha. She's just going to the concert.
Just think about it.
Like it's the person. It's not. Oh, I want to go to.
Stupid bitches are so dumb.
Random concert. It's Kesha. Like my idol, the girl that I watch videos on YouTube 30 times a day. I mean, like I'm obsessed with this girl.
How does she have time to smoke meth or whatever she's charged with? Just sitting around. I guess you do that while you're watching Kesha. You can multitask.
Just think about it.
I know it sounds crazy, but if I have to stay on probation to see Kesha, it might be worth it.
Kesha, this is your number one fan, a heroin addict. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre twist and fucked up news right now. If you enjoy Distorted View Daily, please consider supporting this stupidity by becoming a member of the Sideshow. That is DV's member site, where you gain full access to the entire archive of programs. More importantly, every week we do brand new exclusive shows just for paying members. Yesterday was a Sideshow exclusive podcast. And guess what? Tomorrow we'll be doing another one. So it's a great time to sign up. It's now easier than ever. If you listen to Distorted View on Spotify, you can sign up for Sideshow content right in the app. Same deal with Apple Podcasts. Just a few taps and you're getting all the exclusive shows. If you use any other podcast app, you can sign up through the Sideshow website, superfreaksideshow.com. You'll get an RSS feed that you can plug into most podcasting apps, one that support password protected feeds. You'll enter your username and password in there. There's instructions on the Sideshow site on how to get that working. It works with, like I said, most podcasting apps like Overcast, Podcast Addict, tons of others. Check out superfreaksideshow.com. All major credit cards and PayPal accepted. This is how I make my living, so if you like Distorted View Daily, I could sure use your support. Other ways to support the program, we've got a Patreon account, patreon.com/distortedview. You can pledge as little as $1 over there. If you pledge at least $5, you get access to a special voicemail line where I will play your calls first. All right, 3 very quick stories now. First up, we got one here from our most fucked up state. Say it with me again.
Our most fucked up state.
Yes, a Polk County teacher is facing misdemeanor battery charges over allegations that she bit 2 students all over a jar of pickles. The teacher, Rhonda Rice, told school administrators that she was playing around with students. You can also get in trouble for that. Quote, I think she needs to learn what she did, and what she did was wrong, said Kathy Toro. Who the fuck knows who Kathy Toro is? Like a concerned parent, I'm guessing, because she contacted the local news after months passed without any action being taken. Toro's 15-year-old nephew was a student at Bartow Middle School. She said in October, he and another student were working at the school store when Rice tried to take a jar of pickles. I don't care if you're a teacher or not, you don't steal a jar of pickles. What is this school store they're working at? I'm trying to remember, like when I went to school, there was like this thing called the Little Red something. It was kind of like a big cabinet that would swing open. And it had shelving, and like during lunchtime, it would be open, and you could like buy things like, rulers or pencils, little things like that. This is more of a convenience store situation. It's not even like stuff you would eat at lunch. Like, who's buying a jar of pickles to eat at lunch? You know, it's bizarre. But whatever, this school store was stocked up with pickles. The teacher tried to take a jar. Kathy Toro's nephew and another student tried to take the jar back. So she just bit them on the forearm. And of course, they released, and she was able to get the pickles. But, there's other ways to do that, said Toro. The students reported the behavior to school administrators, who contacted Toro. Toro went to Bartow Police to press charges back in November. According to an affidavit filed by Bartow Police, Rice admitted to licking the students. I didn't bite them. I licked them. There's a difference. That's almost worse, really. Now you're getting into sexual territory. I licked their bodies. Quote, even if it was and she did lick him, I don't believe she did, by the way. It's still not acceptable to me, said Toro. Bartow Police and the state attorney's office have filed 2 misdemeanor battery charges against Rice. She's set to be arraigned on March 31st. In the meantime, she's no longer working at the middle school. She was placed on paid administrative leave pending a review. Upon completion of the review, Rice was suspended for 3 days and relocated to Sleepy Hill Middle School. So she's still a teacher. Hopefully it's a school that does not sell pickles, because it makes her go crazy. Although she described her actions as playing around with students, we expect our employees to act professionally and serve as models of mature behavior. They must set a good example for students to follow, and anything less is unacceptable, wrote Polk County Public School spokesperson Jason Geary. Rice has been a teacher in the Polk County Public School System since 2000. There are 4 prior disciplinary actions in her personnel file. Okay. Don't get too excited, though. They're all for boring things like she was not prepared or she used a district computer for personal use. Boring stuff like that. No more licking or biting of the students. That's what we're interested in. All right, second story we have for you today also comes from our most fucked up state. Do I even need to say it?
Florida, our most fucked up state.
Yes, it continues to be true. Kenneth Clark Carlisle is in some trouble. The 64-year-old Florida man walked fully naked up the driveway of his next-door neighbor and then proceeded to shit atop a glass table. He shit on a glass table on the victim's porch. Isn't there a sex act where you do that, right? Where someone's underneath the table looking up and someone hovers above and shits on the glass? This guy was by himself, though. Carlisle was arrested Friday afternoon for criminal mischief and booked into the county jail on the misdemeanor charge. Cops say the man was captured relieving himself in broad daylight on 2 separate angles of the victim's home security video footage. Good coverage on that. Now, if one of those shots was an overhead, my God, that thing might win an Oscar. It's a long shot, but you get the right editor in there, someone who really knows how to chop up footage, could end up being a masterpiece. A masterpiece of shit. When officers arrived at the Clearwater crime scene, Carlisle was spoken to through the door of his RV camper, and he was visibly naked and highly uncooperative. These news stories are always so unsatisfying. You never get a reason. Why? Why did he shit on the guy's coffee table or whatever table was on the porch there? And there's got to be some neighborly dispute going on. Bond on the criminal mischief rap is $250, but Carlisle remains behind bars since he's already facing several criminal charges stemming from a December arrest. Carlisle was busted for drunk driving and discharging multiple firearms into a lake near his residence. That is a very Florida man thing to do. Living in an RV, shooting guns into a lake, pooping on people's tables. There's a lot to love about Orlando. Ting. All right, according to police, Carlisle fired the gun while seated in his car. A subsequent police search recovered multiple shell casings scattered around the vehicle, incriminating. Charged with a DUI, a misdemeanor, and 2 felony firearm counts, Carlisle had been free on an $11,500 bond. So there you go. And finally today we got one from Japan. Planning to visit Japan anytime soon? Don't. There may have been an evil spirit released.
You in danger, girl.
For realsies. Predictions of dark forces being unleashed by an evil vixen hung over social media in Japan on Monday after a famous volcanic rock said to kill anyone who comes into contact with it was found split into 2, meaning the evil has been released. According to the mythology surrounding the, Shisoseki, or killing stone, the object contains the transformed corpse of Tamamo Name, a beautiful woman who had been part of a secret plot hatched by a feudal warlord to kill Emperor Toba, who reigned from 1107 to 1123. Legend has it that her true identity was an evil nine-tailed fox. I'm pretty sure this is the plot to Naruto. Now, there's some plagiarizing going on here. Anyway, yes, the legend is that this woman or whatever that's in the stone, or the evil spirit or whatever, is a nine-tailed fox whose spirit is embedded in the hunk of lava, located in an area of Tochigi Prefecture near Tokyo, famous for its sulfurous hot springs. Its separation into two roughly equal parts, believed to have occurred within the past few days, has spooked online users who noted that, according to folklore, the stone continually spews poisonous gas, hence its name. You know, the killing stone. While the stone was said to have been destroyed and its spirit exorcised by a Buddhist monk who scattered its pieces across Japan, many Japanese prefer to believe that its home is on the slopes of Mount Nasu. Visitors to the area, a popular sightseeing spot, recoiled in horror this weekend after witnesses posted photos of the fractured stone alongside a length of rope that had been secured around its circumference, lying on the ground. Oh, so someone broke this in half themselves. It didn't just split open on its own. Quote, "I feel like I've seen something that shouldn't be seen," one Twitter user said. Oh, what a drama queen. While others speculated that the demon spirit of Tamamo Name or whatever had been resurrected after almost 1,000 years, local media said cracks had appeared in the rock several years ago, possibly allowing rainwater to seep inside and weaken its structure. The stone, which was registered as a local historical site in 1957, was mentioned in Matsuyo Basho's seminal work, The Narrow Road to the Deep North. Oh, yes, we've all read that. Such a powerful, powerful piece of literature. And moving. Oh, my God, so moving. Local and national government officials will meet to discuss the stone's fate. Glue it back together. Use some flex glue or flex tape. The newspaper quoted a tourism official as saying that he would like to see the stone restored to its original form, presumably with its demonic inhabitants sealed within it. I don't know how you're going to suck those ghosts back in the stone. Once they're released, they don't want to go back. You know how it is. You all remember Zool, right? That was one stubborn, otherworldly motherfucker. There is no Tim, only Zool. All right, there you go. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Wednesday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you freaks, and there are many ways to contact the show. Show at DistortedView.com. I'm all over social media at DistortedView on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/DistortedViewShow. You know all the ways to contact me, and if you don't, just remember DistortedView.com. A central hub for all things DV. All right, let's check in with a few freaks here. I think we got some patron calls coming in.
Oh my God! There are people everywhere with flames coming out of their buttholes. It's so tragic.
All right, something you don't hear about very often, but apparently it is affecting people. Planes coming out of assholes. Thank you.
Hey, Tim, Haley's comment calling up about your recent discussion of mead potentially Peter Parker's jizz into the eyes of an unsuspecting customer.
Oh, yeah, that was on yesterday's Sideshow exclusive podcast. There was a bit of a mead update. If you want to hear it, sign up for the Sideshow. Nothing too groundbreaking, except for the fact that, like, Mead wrote this weird forum post where he's like, I like it when I serve pretty girls at Chick-fil-A. One day I want to give them my special sauce. You know, like weird, something weird like that. Oddly sexual for a Mead posting.
I'd like to point out,
Mead's all horny right now.
Your scenario that you outlined had Mead taking orders. And I think we've seen quite clearly that no fast food restaurant in its right mind would ever let Mead be the one taking orders or handling money.
Yes, we learned that Mead is a food runner, which means that when the order is up, he takes the food out to their car, I guess. A very important job over there at Chick-fil-A.
Hi, Tim. Hello, idiots. I just wanted to say hello. I've been meaning to ask you. I mean, I hope you're doing... I've been meaning to ask you, are you doing all right? I mean, I hope you're doing okay. Hey.
I'm all right now. I was not feeling this well this weekend. Like, there was something wrong with me. I was actually sick.
Anyway, I also wanted to ask you, are you a cheese doodle guy or a Cheetos guy?
I'm more of a... Oh, that's a good question. I like both, actually. If I had to pick one, I guess I'd go with Cheetos.
When I was a kid, when I was in, junior high...
3D Doritos. That's another thing that went away for a while and just recently came back. I know it's not soda or drink related like the stuff we were talking about earlier today, but that was a very exciting product that came back, although... I don't like the flavors that they came up with. I don't like that. It doesn't taste quite right. Oreo Cakesters are back, which was never my thing, but I know some of you guys like that. So a lot of food, not just soda, but a lot of food's coming back as well. Unicorn Hamster here is talking about cheese doodles and Cheetos. Planters Cheese Balls, which was like a staple of the 80s and maybe early 90s. They're back, along with their kind of like Cheeto counterpart. I think they're just called what are they called? Cheese noodles or something?
I think 90, 91, that fucking era time there. I had a best friend and he had a Super Nintendo. His name was Tim, actually. Not Henson, because he'd be cool, but Tim, my best friend Tim, he had a Super Nintendo, and I wouldn't get a Super Nintendo because he had one, and I was a Sega Genesis guy. But, years later...
I have noticed that there's like this weird thing where some kids would actually do that, where like, oh, your friend has a Super Nintendo, so I'm going to get the Sega Genesis. Kind of a smart move, actually, because your friend could come over and play Sega Genesis games and you could go over and play the Super Nintendo games. I, on the other hand, just copied my friend, where it was like, I saw that he had a Super Nintendo, I started playing it, I loved it, and I was like, oh, I want one of those. And so then I got a Super Nintendo. I thought that would be cooler because then we could just like trade cartridges and stuff.
I got the Nintendo 64 was my last big Christmas gift because I was like 16, 17-ish. I don't fucking remember.
I got a Nintendo 64. I paid for it myself. Well, with student loan money. I remember exactly where I was when I decided to buy it. I was sitting in class. I think maybe other kids were talking about it, or I saw an ad. Maybe it was going on sale or something, because this had to have been like 1998 or 99. It was like a few years after the N64 came out, so maybe it was going on sale, and that's why I got it. Bought that motherfucker, and I bought Zelda at the same time.
Just wondering if you had a preference, or if you like them all.
I don't know what he's talking about here. He wants to know if I like cheese doodles or Cheetos, but then he starts talking about video games. I like both of them. If I had to choose between Puffs and the actual, Cheetos, I guess I would go with Cheetos. Cheetos and Snapple Elements. You know what I'll be having tonight. All right, that is all the time we have on this edition of the program. I want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-66. Oh, God, is it? Oh, God.
My cock doesn't have eyes?
Spread the distortion. STD. Tell all your friends about the show. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating or a thumbs up or like wherever you can rate and review podcasts like Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcast. It really does help us out, and it takes just a second. Thank you so much to everyone who is continuing to rate and review us wherever you can. I will see you back tomorrow if and only if you're Sideshow members. Otherwise, I'll be back one more time to end the week with a Friday program. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody.
A heart surgeon. I met him in New Orleans, and he gave me $250 to shit. he was on his knees. I was standing on the toilet, squatting down, and he was on his knees. And he jerked off, and he was watching me shit.
This has been another excellent podcast from the Scribe Media Group. Learn more at scribe.net.